There we are now. Robbie, congratulations. Has it failed to be a snooker professional?
It's an absolutely unbelievable feeling. Obviously, going in every day and practicing as an amateur just doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? It actually feels like something I've actually worked hard for, and it's actually come true, and it's a great feather in my cap.
Well, you say work hard, kid. You worked hard, all right. Certainly in this tournament, you worked hard. Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about that, by the way. We're going to touch on that. I mean, it wasn't the easiest tournament to get through. I mean, if you compare it, well, let's hear your views anyway. And compared to the Q Tour, which is a bit cutthroat, really, isn't it? You've got to be on form. You've got to score. You've got to perform very well on the day. How did you compare that tournament with the Q Tour events and other events?
I think I love the Europeans much better than the Q Tours, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. The format's much better. It's live streamed. There's a lot more people watching your matches. There's a lot more money up for grabs and things. I think the whole format of the amateur scene at the minute is very cutthroat. I think it's too cutthroat, if I'm being honest. I think the way Q goes around and the way the Q Tours around, it makes it very difficult to try and progress as a player. If you look at some of them draws I've had in the Q Tour this season, I mean, in my first round match, in one of the Q Tours, I actually played Craig Steadman, who had beaten the final of this. So it just shows you how short it is. But I think overall, all them experiences made me into a tougher player and probably helped me in getting a tour card this year. So, yeah.
Yeah. But didn't knock your confidence. I mean, I watch you play. I mean, I know you came over and played in one of my pro-ams, which you didn't really have much trouble with. I think you conceded. I think you conceded 2 frames.
Yeah.
When you won that event, but you played very well. You impressed a lot of people in the club when you came down there. And I know you didn't have a great Q Tour, really. I mean, it was never great for anybody, really, apart from those at the top. Who did very, very well on the day. But this performance was amazing. This is incredible. I mean, let's just touch on your results. For example, you did a couple of these lads are friends of mine. Actually, you did Don Wormesley 4-3. You beat a guy called Shakur. I can't remember his second name, actually. I'm going to have to put my glasses on to read some of their names. You beat him 4-3, and then Julian Bielko 4-3, and then you had Florian, is it Ubel 4-3, and then of course you had Craig at the final. I mean, do you not get a bit? I mean, was it not getting the better of you? I mean, being so close. I mean, what about talk us through these matches? I mean, was it
first event I had as the campaign was actually the junior event, and I got beaten in the semis of it as well. So obviously losing in that the way I did, I performed very badly in that, and I'd also semis of that last year. But I just said this year I was going to change my mentality, because last year I lost in the semis of the juniors and I felt very disheartened. And then going into the men's, I had a bad men's. So this year I decided that I'm going to look at the positives from it, and I said to myself, I've got the semis of a big event, haven't played poorly. So whenever I went into the men's, I already had a bit more positive outlook on things. So in them early matches, wherever I was getting them close to siders and I was maybe struggling through them, I just looked at it more positively and I just played my own game. And the match against Daniel Wormesley was a huge win, because to play somebody of that level so early on in the tournament, that can only give you massive, massive confidence. And to be able to beat him, because he'd actually had 3 centuries in a row with match before I played him. Probably one of the players of the tournament. So I think it all sort of changed after that. When I beat Daniel, that's the first sort of big name I'd beaten in quite a few months at one of them events. So when I beat him, I'm thinking to myself, you know what, I can probably go on to do well in this event. And obviously here I am with the trophy beside me, so I've done okay.
Yeah, it's a beautiful looking trophy, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Fantastic looking trophy, mate. Some praise there. I'm sure you've got a few others as well. One of those trophies is the Northern Ireland Amateur Champion, of which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong now, Robbie, I think you've won it 3 years in a row.
Yeah, that's correct, yes. 3 years in a row.
That's not easy to do, mate. That's not easy to do. There's not very many players have done that. Some of the players who have done that have done very well on the tour.
Yeah, it's a brilliant brilliant feather in my cap winning that 3 years in a row. I think it was the first sort of major tournament I ever won. I was youngest ever when I won that at 17, so it was a brilliant tournament to win. As I say, I've won 3 years in a row. I think the only other person to do that's Patrick Wallace. So I'm in a luxurious group of players that have done it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying to make it 4 in a row now. Obviously, I don't start my professional campaign until June or July time, so I've got one more crack to win it. Hopefully, I can win it four times in a row and then go on to my pro tour then after that.
Absolutely. And you've had a taste of playing some good professionals too, Robbie. I mean, your performance in the Northern Ireland Open there, that's quite a good performance there. I think you lost, was it 4-3 to McGill?
Yeah, first match I played in the Waterfront was against a fellow called Mohammed Asif, who's obviously a very decent professional. I beat him pretty well, and I played McGill, and I was 3-1 up, and McGill needed 3 snookers, and he ended up coming back and beat me 4-3, so that was a heartfelt defeat. Yeah, I know, but
it hurts.
Again, I tried to take the positives from it as much as I could, and I had more exposure on the TV table. I played out in the venue first, that year that I played out in the venue, so I just took as much experience as I could, and I just moved on with it, which I think is a good attribute to have.
I think that's why I reached out to you a bit there to come over and play in one of my events over here, because I did the same for Jordan. Jordan came over and played a lot of my pro-ams, actually, as you probably know. In the early, about just before lockdown, we had back-to-back weekends against really good amateurs, mate. Some decent professionals, lower ranked professionals as well. You had the likes of Zach Zerdy and Dan Wormesley. Peter Devlin and a lot of other professionals. Can't remember half their names actually, but it was a very tough 16 draw, best of 7 format, and it pushed him a lot because he kind of needed to travel a little bit.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought the same with you. I kind of thought, get you out of your comfort zone a wee bit, get you out of Antrim, and you came over here and you made it look easy.
Yeah, well, obviously a lot of players that have played in all your pro-ams, and I think the pro-ams were just before my time, before I started probably taking it serious. I would have loved to have been around whenever they were there, because all of hers give reports. I mean, having back-to-back tournaments on weekends was phenomenal, and Jordan couldn't speak highly enough about it. Spoke to Peter Devlin about it, he was the same. So even the case that I did get of them, it was valuable, and obviously I look forward to playing more pro-ams in the future. It's sad that you're not running them as much anymore as you used to, but I'm sure people realise what they're missing in the future.
Let's touch on Robbie. Let's touch on Antrim.
Yeah.
Just remind me, were you actually born in Antrim?
Yeah, I was born in Antrim. I've lived here my whole life, so yeah.
Big snooker fraternity there. I know most of the lads that are over there, and so do you, because you grew up with them. But I mean, who's influenced you there, Robbie? Give me some names of the guys who have really pushed you there in the club.
Yeah, I'll mention a few names. I forgot to mention people in my European speech whenever I won it. I was just in such a daze, I didn't know what to say, and I actually didn't really thank anybody, so it's probably a nice time to do it. But going back to the early days, obviously Mark Allen was the biggest influence, and the help that he's given me on the snooker table is absolutely priceless. And even now, I practice with him every day. I was texting him between matches over the Europeans. He's probably one of the biggest mentors in my life in general, not just on the snooker table. Another fellow who I have to thank, who I probably haven't thanked enough, as a fellow who's Jordan's coach and he's my coach. His name is Marty Brammeld. You probably know Marty.
I do know Marty.
Or know of him. Most people in the snooker fraternity won't have heard of him, or most people in England won't know him. But I think if it wasn't for him, I don't think I'd have as much mental strength on the snooker table as what I had. He's the one that sort of introduced me into the side of what to be thinking when you're on the shot, how to prepare yourself before you go into matches and things. I don't think I knew much about that before I worked with him. I've actually been working with Marty since I was about 16 or 17 properly. I have to thank him. And then another massive guy I want to thank is the guy that actually owns the club, is Rob Fee. He gave me free snooker and stuff whenever I was struggling financially, and gave me free. He was one of the biggest ones for the last couple of years. Whenever times have been tough, he always made it easier for me. So I think them three are the biggest people in the club. But having the friends and support I have there too, and just having the banter that we have day to day has helped me. You go in there and it's serious and you want to improve, but you just go in there and you just have the time. You can play darts, you can have a game of cards at the counter. It's all very chilled out, and I think that's an I've been enjoy playing in. So yeah, I'd love to just thank all them people for helping me so far, and hopefully this is only the beginning.
I think I think I love about your game is you have this. I don't know whether you'll agree with me or not, but you kind of have this attacking style. You're not short of taking a few shots on, and I like that because you don't often see it in snooker, but you have an attacking style. I mean, there is a downside to that. Obviously, there's a lot of players will be very, very cautious when they play each and every different frame. But what's your view on your style, Robbie? Who do you get that from, or is it just developed yourself, or where's your confidence? Where are you going with that?
I think for me, I don't think I have it. I don't see it as negative or positive. I just play the balls the way I see it, and if I feel like I have a shot on, and I fancy it, and I'm going to take it on, and that's just it. I try not to think of the outcome of the shot as much. I try not to get myself in a negative frame of mind. Don't get me wrong. If I have to go and play safety, I back myself as a safety player too. Especially the last couple of years, I've grew on that because you have to, because you're playing them top amateurs and lower ranked professionals. They're going to hammer you unless you know when to not go for them. But it's just as simple as that. If I see a shot in the back of myself, the pot of it, I'm going to go full blood for it. And I think you probably could say I have a slightly more aggressive style of play, yeah. And it's something I'm not looking to change anytime soon. I think it's an attribute that all young players nowadays probably don't have, to be honest. I think a lot of them are too negative and try to be too nice about things. I think sometimes you have to grab the bull by the horn and just go for it.
And the audience love that, really. They absolutely love attacking players. They love Ronnie and they love Robertson and, players that attack, and they don't want long frames. They want to see stylish play, good breaks. They want to see a wee bit of entertainment,
Yep.
and it's very hard to get that in snooker. But but I am so looking forward to you on the tour. I'll tell you, Ken, I'm really looking forward to you getting stuck in to those tough draws and that lower seeding. It's not going to be easy. So
Yep.
what's your give me a wee bit of feedback here? What's your anticipation about going on to the tour? How are you feeling about all of that?
I'm really looking forward to it. I think one of the best attributes I had over in Bosnia was I didn't really put myself under any pressure playing. I just enjoyed the occasion, enjoyed potting balls, and I think that's the structure I want to have going on to the tour. I'm going to battle for everything, work tirelessly hard, but at the same time, I'm just going to go out there and just enjoy it. I've earned the right to be a professional. I've earned the right to be in these events, and I'm going to enjoy every moment. I don't want to be putting pressure on myself to stay on the tour or hold my tour card or do this and do that. I think if I play my best snooker and go out there and perform, I think that'll take care of itself, really, to be honest. If times do start getting tough and I do start losing matches, then so be it. I'll keep cracking away. And one thing's for sure, I'll never give up at any moment.
Well, I'll tell you what, kid. If I was in the business of support, I'd certainly be looking at sponsorships, and I think you're going to attract a bit of attention. That's for sure. Definitely, there's no question about that there. And do you have anything on board at the minute, or are you still looking? Or
Yeah, I'm still searching for sponsorship at the minute. I think I'll probably be putting posts out in the next couple of weeks, trying to just gather everything that I have as a player and put it out there and get as much exposure as I can. Like doing things like this will help me, obviously. But yeah, to anybody out there looking more details and sponsor me, I'm more than willing to talk to them and have a few sponsors on behind the scene. But any help at all is much appreciated. So hopefully I can get something sorted in the next couple of months.
fantastic, fantastic. So in the club at the moment in Antrim, who you practicing mostly with Mark, or are you kind of mixing it up there?
No, I play a target playing Mark and Jordan because they're by far the best practice partners in all of Ireland. I can't get any better than that. I'm very lucky. I have 2 star tables and 2 professionals to practice with. It's a big privilege of mine. I play Mark. I text Mark and Jordan pretty much every day, trying to work around their schedule. Just whenever I can get playing them, and even the first 2 days I've been back home, I've been playing them both days. I've been giving them good matches, and I'm just constantly trying to learn off them. And I think for them to have another professional come along like myself will help them too, to keep them on their toes. I don't think they want me casting up them anytime soon anyway. So nah, it's all good. It's all good in the club, and I'm looking forward to playing them boys. They're my favorite players to play against. So yeah.
Well, you'll also get the opportunity to. I'll hook you up with some pros down here in the south next time you come over. If you hook up your trips, it depends what the qualifiers are. They're probably going to be mostly Sheffield. That orientation that way, Leicester based, which quite good flights actually from Belfast, as you probably already know. It's funny, Jordan Marty's also Marty's also Jordan's coach as well, which is some of the guys incidentally that there, but he's going to be kept a little bit busy now, isn't he?
Yeah, Jordan's doing well on the third. He's winning plenty of matches, and I think a lot of Jordan's improvement over the years has been down to Marty. I don't think it's strange. A lot of people in England and stuff would never know of him, but I think if I was generally had any advice to any young Northern Irish players coming through or anybody local, they get on to Marty because he's by far the best coach I've ever seen. So yeah, he'll be busy with Jordan. Jordan's works hard. He always has. He works very hard on the club. It's no mistake that the last couple of years has done well. Has been the hardest he's worked. So him and Marty will have their hands full. I think he's still trying to take his game to the next level. I still think he wants to be a top 16 player. He wants to be a top player of the game, and why not? Because he's good enough. So yeah, they'll be busy. So they will.
And Marty's heading to be the top coach in the UK because he's going to replace Chris Henry on these streams.
Yep.
Mind you, Marty's got a much better personality than Henry. Would you not agree?
I've actually never spoken to him. Might be a lovely lad, so I'll say anything bad about him.
I'm going to ask you a very tough question now, Robbie. Okay, I asked Liam this just a few minutes ago. Where do you see yourself at the end of season 2? Where would you like to see yourself? How far can you go?
How far can I go? I think I like to keep my goals to myself, to be honest. I'd like to, everyone around me knows what I'm trying to get out of this game and what I want to be, and even in the short term future, they know I'm not in this to be a journeyman or just to make up the numbers. But I think I'll just keep it to myself, not put any pressure on myself. But maybe do a podcast in 2 years' time just to see where I am. But I think I'll be doing all right.
That's exactly what we're going to do. Absolutely. Well, look, miss, it was absolute pleasure because I watched all of your match on that live stream, and I don't watch a lot of snooker, Robbie. I really don't. You see the Jordan Browns and the Mark Allens of this world, they just bore the tits of me. I can't stand them. I want to watch you. I want to see you going right up there to the top. Okay?
All right. I'll try my best.
Don't forgive me for saying that. I know I don't mean that. Anyway, kid, fantastic. Congratulations to you. I'm really looking forward to see you have a good bash at the tour. I don't need to tell you, you know how tough it is. You've played a lot of the players already. You've traveled a bit, which is great. Jordan did that too. He had already been on the tour when he came off and he got on again, but he was a stronger player. But I can just see you getting stronger on the tour. I can see you becoming stronger mentally as well. Because it's if you remember the wee chats we had when you came over to the house, you'd already appreciated and absorbed a lot of the mental side of the game. When we talked about your, the coaching and what have you, and the mental side of the game, and it was very interesting to hear you say that. It's always a great thing to do that. But congratulations to you again, Robbie. Thanks very much for coming on here. All right. I look forward to seeing you again. Is there anything you want to mention before we go, or have we done enough?
No, I think that's everything. I'm saying thanks for having me on here, and if you want to do anything else any other time soon,
no, that's no problem.
I love talking rubbish about snooker, so yeah, I'm happy enough.
No, this will go on probably about a dozen platforms when I upload it onto YouTube. I'll send you the link and what have you. But no, it's always great to see you on here, kid.
All right, thanks.